Hey man, are you busy right now?
Oh no, I got some time for you, Ken.
Oh, cool.
What's going on?
So I have some couple questions for you. So right now, I'm your basic house hack. I like to bowl a lot of leagues. But right now, I'm struggling with the third game. Like it kind of forces me kind of far left, throwing pretty kind of big balls, pro balls, but it still forces me left, and it gets super cliff where I either send it right over hooks, and then I try to move more left, get it in, and the ball just two tens.
Right, Ken. I think that's kind of been a common inquiry, right, that we've been getting lately. Is the front of the lane? There's so much more friction developed there, so players get forced left really quick, and you even have high ball speed, and you feel like you're getting forced further left. So I think you definitely need something on the cleaner side, more of that skid flip type of reaction. And we just had a brand new release, the Lightning Blackout, that I think is going to match up to that pretty well. Your speed's still pretty quick, so we're going to go like maybe a 4.5-inch pin. Make sure that the ball flares enough still to kind of blend the lane out. We don't want it to be too sensitive down lane. It is a pearl cover and has some polish on it, but it is a little bit more of that stronger cover in that REX, so it's going to blend it out a little bit more off the end of the pattern. So if we did something like 4.5 by 4 by 2, I think that's going to be a good starting point. If you want to go grab one out there, I'll meet you over on the lanes in a few minutes and we can see kind of how it looks.
Sounds great. Cool. Thanks.
Ken, you got that ball drilled up?
Yes, I do, and I'm just warming up right now with throwing the absolute power, and then probably move more left with the coil once it starts to break down a little bit, and then go from there.
So kind of what you traditionally bring to league, right?
Yeah.
Something a little bit more surface, solid on the fresh. We'll kind of stay right with that.
Yeah.
Go to something shinier, big ASIM, kind of move left, and then you said this is where you really start kind of running into it, is when that forces you maybe a little too far left and they get a little clipped.
Yes.
So I think we'll see how well that Lightning Blackout looks for you.
Okay. Yep. A couple more shots.
All right, Ken, you've thrown quite a few shots here. You started with absolute power, really kind of developed a spot there, right? And then as soon as that kind of started hooking too much, we went to DNA coil. We're getting forced more left. We know there's a lot of friction on the lane.
Yeah.
You had one that you thought was pretty good, went a little bit high, you made that move off of it, and then we're just right in that puddle, right? And that's where you just saw the ball go dead straight off of it. And I think a big part of that is the cover being a little bit stronger is really forcing you into kind of not an optimal part of the lane to play. So that's where I think if we go to something like this Lightning Blackout, even with your speed, you're going to be able to get into kind of a better spot on the lane to allow you to have more kind of miss room both directions. So I think try that Lightning Blackout. Let's kind of bump back to the right a little bit and see if we can create some room both directions.
Sounds good. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, what are you seeing?
I do feel like it does let me move more right, and then also lets me get kind of on top of the friction too a little bit.
That's kind of the idea, right? Is you can take that front of the lane out of play, which is nice when there's a ton of friction in the front of the lane, because now you're not forced into this zone that you have that long left where there's a lot of oil in the middle of the lane, your speed's super fast, it's easy to kind of shoot it through it. Now we can get on top of it a little bit more, keep our angles more favorable, which is going to be better for our pin carry as well.
And I also did notice too, when I got it, there's a couple shots inside too, it actually holds, which to me, I love that. Like, I love that miss room, because then loosens up that swing too.
That's what we're always looking for as bowlers, right? Nobody's perfect. We want to try and create as much room as we can, and I think this Lightning Blackout was definitely the right choice for that. Ken, I think another thing that we didn't really talk about, this obviously is allowing you to stay more to the right, so we're in a better part of the lane, but you're gonna have a lot of time until you can finally get back to that zone where it was kind of clipped in that bad spot, because this is so much cleaner and taking more of that front of the lane out of play. And I know you bowl a lot of tournaments like I do, and we get really excited with bowling balls like this because we know people are using a ton of surface. There's a ton of rev rate out there, lots of friction on the lane surface, thicker oils, the list goes on and on, right? So anything that we can do to kind of keep our entry angle a little bit more favorable and our launch angle a little bit better for longer is going to be better overall for our pin carry.
And I do like that too. With this core too, I feel like it's kind of great too. It allows me to kind of stay right, stay a little bit right longer, and then kind of move left to, like you said.
Right, you don't have really high RG numbers, and you don't have super, super low differential numbers, so it naturally kind of wants to float through the front of the lane, and that core design, kind of having a little bit more cutout up towards the top makes it a little bit taller, which generally makes the ball kind of tumble a little bit more through the front of the lane, which gives you kind of that unique skid flip type reaction, which is obviously really good when they start burning up and you move left.
Alex, I just want to say thank you for the help. Kind of opened my eyes a little bit more on what your thought process is and the design intent on this ball. And I can't wait to throw it in the league and tournaments too. So hopefully we see each other in the finals, and hopefully I can take a dub out.
Yeah.